Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I am the Sam. The Bean has been singing a ton of songs he's been learning from Bluey, so that's probably what you'll hear in the background today. And not only did I receive this comment, but Perfect Storm also sent messages in the Discord asking specifically for a Gothic Revival Treehouse, and I guess if you get annoying enough, I'll build what you want. Please do not take that literally. I wanted to do a crossover series anyway, so that's what we're doing today. It's just a little bit earlier than I expected. So basically what I want to do today is try and take the Gothic Revival. I'm working specifically with the Gothic Revival Victorian as my influences, that's what I know more about, as opposed to a Gothic Revival Brownstone or something like that, and a treehouse. So a treehouse, pretty simple. Basically, it has to be supported by a tree. Now, the Gothic Revival is a little bit more complicated. We see those arched windows, specifically the pointy arches, all over this reference image. We're also looking at steeply pitched roofs, and the inside is a pretty standard Victorian layout where you have large rooms flowing one into another. Now, tree houses, because they're supported by trees, tend to be a bit smaller, so we're not going to do anything too huge today, and hopefully at the end of the day, we'll have a nice little crossover, which you will all love very, very much. And I'd like to make a quick note about house suggestions. You guys drop so many styles, and I want to assure you that every single one of your comments, it's all in a document. However, I am one person with a small child, and I make as much content as I am physically able to. I love doing this, but I can't promise when any specific video is going to come out. So anyway, I just want to make sure you all know that you're all loved. All suggestions are considered equally. It's just some of them are able to happen sooner than others. Anyway, enough boring chit chat, let's build. So for the treehouse, I'm actually going to start one level up. I'll delete this when I'm ready for it, but I want to start out building like a floor plan and stuff. Make it black so I can tell where I am building. So I definitely want some sort of front entry, and typically this would be a pretty large room. However, due to the nature of the style, being treehouse anyway, that's just not going to happen. So I want to make sure that the stairs are going to fit with the medium wall height. I think we'll have to do it like that. That's fine. And then off to this side, we'll start with I think we'll do a little living room, a little dining room, and a kitchen back here, maybe a bathroom off the kitchen. Now, typically in a Victorian home, you would see chimneys and fireplaces be centralized. However, I think it'd be really cool to have the tree sort of go through the middle of the house. So I'm actually going to leave this empty so we can stick a tree through it. I would like to have a little bit of something coming off the side here, so I think I'll just do like a little office or library coming off the living and dining area. Kitchen at the back of the home, very important. And then at the top of these stairs, this is going to be the space that I have to work with, just to make sure that the roof is going to be the correct pitch. And I know this spot is a little bit funny, but I think that we can probably do our main bedroom up here. It's going to be a little squishy, but that's okay. And then we'll do a nice main bath, which won't technically be attached, but it's right across the hall. And I think we'll add some kids' bedrooms in like a tower off to the side, because we still want this to feel like a big home, even if it's not actually going to be a big home. I think we'll probably just put the bathroom here. We'll add another spot for a tree to grow through there, and that leaves that as a fine space for a little bedroom. And maybe we'll put homework stuff out here or something. And then upstairs, technically, each one of these could be a bedroom, but that doesn't feel quite right. I think we'll just do a kind of funny shaped bedroom, and then I guess maybe another bathroom there. That's a lot of bathrooms for a tiny house. Okay, here's the shell, final answer. Entry hall, living room, dining room, kitchen, small bathroom with a little office space over here, and then upstairs we'll have the main bedroom and a main bathroom. And then over here we're going to do two kind of funky bedrooms, but that'll be fine, I think. And then upstairs we'll have one more bedroom here that you enter at the end of the hall. Definitely could still put two single beds in here. They'll just be quite private from one another, which could be pretty nice. And then this will be sort of like the kids' bathroom. And now all we have to do to make them float is do that. There are holes for our, almost holes for trees. There we go. 2 holes for trees. Now we just have to roof it. Easy peasy. Actually, I think I'll add the deck first. Deck first, then roofing. Sometimes it can be difficult to get these rectangles to sort of float up, so it's easier on occasion to make them skinny and then put them up there. And I do want this one to be slightly elevated, so all I have to do is grab that foundation arrow, just pick it up a little bit, and we'll do another little deck piece there. And in theory, stairs should connect. There we go. Now they connect. In theory, I could extend this and have it over the porch, but I think I'd rather do a more rustic looking porch. Again, trying to mesh these two styles the best way we can. You know what? I think I do actually want to add a little deck wrapping around this octagon as well. If you want to do a deck around a tower like this, it is just so much easier to do it with walls until that happens, and then go through and delete the walls, rather than trying to piecemeal it with the tiny little deck pieces. Now we can roof. This part's going to be really easy. All I need to do is grab some of these half gables, hold Alt to keep the same height but adjust the pitch, and that should just line up easy peasy. And you can see I have it extending over the deck over there so that the overall pitch will line up just fine. And I'll use the same half gables to cover the portion here that we'll have the tree growing out of. Isn't that fun? It's delightful. Love it. So there's the main part of the house, and then we have to do this one, which will be a little bit more tricky, but that's okay. Pretty much just going to start with these as far in as I can take them, and then we can fix the rest with those half gable roof pieces. Nifty. For this, I think I can take an octagon, and just if I pitch it really, really low, I shouldn't have any clipping issues. Famous last words. That is there, but that's okay. The tree will just pierce through it. Trees are good at doing that, just growing through everything you don't want them to grow through. But it's not going into any of the rooms, and that's what I was concerned about. Nice! That's cute, right? Yeah, I think I actually changed my mind about this piece because I can't get the deck roof to look how I want it to, so I'm going to pull this room out. Which obviously won't make any sense for this being a main bedroom, or this being a bathroom anymore, but that's fine and dandy. We'll just have a surprising amount of bedrooms. Now for all of the railings and everything outside, I think we need to find our balance. Because really, getting some of those arches in is going to be imperative. We could use this iron railing, which would be really great. Or the fleur-de-lis fence. I think I'll go with the iron railing. Yeah, that's nice. And I think I decided to go with the sleek spandrel because I just found this column, which I want to use to help support, so I'm going to leave that there. But what I was going to say is because when I actually start placing in these columns, we get a little bit of an arch there. Now it's not pointy, which is a bummer, but I don't have any pointy options. So that's about what I've got for that. You can place multiple columns at any time by just holding shift, however, that won't trigger the little spandrel thing, so then you will have to go through and click them each individually, but it's still a heck of a lot faster than placing and copying and so on. Alright, next up, let's talk doors and windows. Now the best window shape-wise is actually Ye Old Windowberry window. However, it's very, very small, so we will not be using this for the whole build, but I can use it in some of the peaks of the roof. Being a Victorian style will definitely be pulling in a lot of windows, but being apparently a fairly, I don't want to say misunderstood, just not very well represented style in the Sims world, we don't really have a lot of options, which is kind of a bummer, because the next best option is actually just going to be this base game set of windows. This one and this one. That will make it work. I did notice that windows were very rarely placed solo. I was going to say solitarily, but I don't think that's a word. So I definitely want to make sure I'm trying to place them in groups wherever possible and not clipping into walls, which we have a little bit of an issue with here. Might just let it slide though. And we're going to have the exact same dilemma with the front door. I could simply go with one of these, and I would love to use a medium height door, but none of them are doing what I want them to do. We could just go with something basic though, since I do need to bring in a little bit more of that rustic element with the treehouse nature. I don't know, we'll see. I need to pull in some more rustic elements and still have it look good. I'm going to start with a more weathered shingle. Now originally I wanted to go with the white vertical siding, however it was pointed out that maybe that made it look a little bit too Gothic Victorian and not enough with the rustic treehouse, so I'm considering switching to the seasoned siding in maybe a green or something. And then of course some white trim. I actually don't mind that. I really like that. Hopefully it's not just because I'm crazy, which is a possibility. Always a possibility. And in case you haven't guessed yet, no, this video didn't come with a script. You're welcome. Alright, now moving inside, I think we should stick with that rustic flooring idea. I really, really like the cats and dogs, and since I've paid absolutely no attention to the pack so far, I don't see any reason to start now. However, Eco Lifestyle is also one of my favorites, and we also have this one. Yep, I'm definitely using that one for the outside, and I'll switch up to something a little bit better kept for the inside. Now that we've picked our flooring color, we of course have to swap out our stairs, and then I will, after I figure out which stairs I want to use, I will add some lights so y'all can see. I wish this wasn't such an intense green. I wish it was a little bit deeper like what we have outside, like this. Very nice. I think I'll put that in the entry and the living. It does technically have a little bit of a chair rail thing, but I think I'll still switch it up for this room. And maybe full wood for the kitchen and bath, because for whatever reason I don't feel like I want to use tiles. Now we do have this, which is the closest thing to a Gothic Revival shape in the game, I think. So I think I can use that between these rooms, but the study should have a closed off door. probably just my usual. Now before we move on to furnishing and landscaping, if you're enjoying this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you think that you could do better, do it better. Share the photos in Discord, or you can tag me on multiple social medias. I'd love to see your take on the Gothic Revival Treehouse. Of course, this one will be on the gallery. I know I'm using a lot of packs, trying to find the balance, creating content right of just going crazy and using a bunch of packs versus trying to limit them. So this one, just using packs, so let me know how you feel about that. But you can always like remodel and whatever, which would be really fun, I think, in such a tiny space. Also, if you missed it, I did live stream last night and I'll be live streaming again tomorrow night, so you definitely want to make sure you turn on the little bell and get the notifications for that, because it's going to be a blast. And with that, I guess I need to throw down some furniture. Start in the kitchen because it's just a great place to start. And as long as I'm already using vampires, should I try these cabinets? Because I'm pretty sure it's just like a oh, maybe not. There aren't actually good options. This does match though. Yep, nope, we're using the green. Okie dokie. Anyway, I think that this is just a repaint of the escargot. Ah, that's why I like it, because that's my favorite counter. Ooh, this is pretty. It's not quite the right green, but I'll let it slide. Well, this is just delightful. I don't think I've actually built anything on the channel so far anyway with Realm of Magic and Vampires yet, so maybe it is okay that I'm using these packs. Also need a trash can. I don't think I should decorate the kitchen too much because I don't want Sims to struggle to cook, but I do like adding a few things just sort of in the corner. A lot of these seem like odd selections for kitchen decoration. Anyway, with move objects on, if you place stuff on a counter, you can then use the Alt key to sort of place it elsewhere, which is super handy. There, see? Adorable. And I think I'll just do a little half bath over here. I'm putting the toilet next to the window on purpose because in theory that should make it more difficult to see in. It will also make it more difficult to see in this mirror, but that's okay. There, delightful. Now a dining room for sure needs a chandelier. Admittedly, I do not know much about Gothic Revival light fixtures, but I think these little lanterns are fantastic. So I'm going to pretend that that is accurate. And if it's not, it's a treehouse and you have lanterns hanging in treehouses all the time. So my butt is covered. I think I'm just going to go with the classic fancy pants chairs and a few little plants. I don't think we should add fireplaces, first of all because it's tiny, and secondly because we are being supported by trees, and that just feels insensitive, you know? It's like eating a cheeseburger in front of a cow. The bean heard me say cheeseburger and now he's asking for some. Oops. Alright, I'm concerned about over-decorating, even though the Victorians were kind of known for that, because I don't care about looking good, I care about being playable, and this is already pushing it with these chairs. So moving on to the living room space, this is very much a hallway, so we really want to be careful about how we're laying out our space here. Maybe it'll be more of a parlor, and I know this is definitely a little bit modern, but I love the wingback chairs. It's a timeless classic. And I'm going to bring in some plants again. I think I'm going to have to move the desk in front of the windows so that I don't block any windows with a bookshelf. And I'm going to use this Seasons one again just because I love how rustic it is, and I'll change the wood tone a little bit. That one. And we don't have room for a chess table in here, but we can add an easel. This lighting is perfect for an easel. Add an antique clock. An antique phone next to that would be adorable, but we don't have one. Nothing too exciting there. I will add a thermostat there, but I refuse to add smoke detectors. It's tradition at this point. Now for these upstairs bedrooms, I'm going to start with the main. I hope this can be the main. It depends on if the bed will fit. Now a full-on 4-poster bed I don't think will fit with this wall height. I think it clips through the top, so I don't want to do that, but we could do this one. That's definitely pushing it, but it wouldn't really fit all that much better in this room, so that'll be okay. Do a nice quilt. I think in the bedrooms it would be fun to focus on sort of found object looking things to furnish them with, as opposed to sticking more in the Victorian direction, just because I feel like that's a classic part of a treehouse. You know, a treehouse, a fort, anything like that, you just sort of haul whatever you can find into it to make it your own space. I don't know if there's anything decent that I can actually put back here. I mean, technically you could use a treadmill, but I don't think so. Oh, we'll put the attic stuff back there. That's fine. Alright, and then this room, where shall you find stuff from? Actually, let's make this a toddler room, because I bet if you were going to have the smallest child have their own room, it'd probably be closest to the parents. Once again, I'm recording this pre-update, but that'll be okay, because you can fix this with the new stuff if you want to. This is the biggest mirror that will actually sit on the floor, and that can really help toddlers with their social skills, I think, so we'll put that there. Now, moving over here, I do just have to put in a tub and toilet and sink and all that stuff real fast. Once again, following the method of using the same sink and toilet everywhere in the hopes that the Sims will not leave one bathroom to wash their hands in another. Has this worked for me so far? No, but I will keep trying. Now for this bedroom set, definitely can fit a couple of beds in here. Changed my mind, this is a teen bedroom now, and for anyone concerned about the child getting his cheeseburger, I gave him some apple juice, and he is happy as a clam. Does anyone else forget where the Dream Home Decorator, dresser stuff is, and end up just going to show all this? This is what I want. I just want it right here. There, that's what I want. Then these can be kids' bedrooms. This almost looks like a day bed, which I think is perfect for this style. And I so wish there was a little shelf I could put in the corner. And I think this is actually a reasonable opportunity to use this light. And then over here, we should be able to fit one more bedroom. It'll be kinda squishy, but that's okay. We can work around the squish by using a bunk bed, placing a fun dresser underneath, and we still have room for a blarfy. I'm not adding curtains because they annoy me greatly, but I think we can add the trees now. Now I'm going to be going with the quaking aspen trees, because when you scale them up they don't look completely terrible, and I should be able to very carefully get it into that hole at the top there. Yeah, like that. Same with this one. So there are a couple of base trees, and then we can add a few more around, and these will disappear when you get close enough when you're actually playing, so that's fine. It's also really nice sometimes to place the trees a little bit out so that the leaves don't clip in too much, and then take the smooth keeper fence and sort of draw to the tree, almost like you're attaching braces to it, you know? And then anywhere where it doesn't feel supported enough, you can go through with some additional columns, like I'll probably do these along the front here and underneath this tower. That'll just help it make a little bit more sense, and we don't actually have any stairs going up to the front yet. That's okay, we can do it now. I think I'm going to center the house on the lot and then look at what other landscaping I may want to do. I think a pond would be a good order, so I'll do one of those over here. And I think I'll just do some sort of wild looking landscaping. Maybe some rocks. Who am I kidding? Always rocks. And then just some plants and wildflowers and stuff growing out from around them. And I just realized this almost looks like a path, so I could probably put like a little chess table or something back here, since we don't have one yet. So I think we'll add one of those and maybe a telescope. Terrain paint is always important, but I think especially so with this build. Now we just need a trash can and a mailbox. And there is my Gothic Revival Treehouse. Let's take a little tour, shall we? Granted, with the trees it's a little difficult, but we do have a nice little entry hall here with the main staircase leading into a living space, leading into a dining space with also an office. And remember, all of these leaves will not be visible in live mode. We've got our green kitchen too, which I'm pretty happy with. And in the main part of the house, we also have a toddler room as well as the main bedroom. Underwhelming, yes, but I think the build itself makes up for it. We have two little sort of kids' rooms on the main floor with a scouting board, because I feel like if you live in a Gothic Revival treehouse, you are in the scouts. And a teen room upstairs, let's see, desk space, and finally a bathroom. Yes, the leaves are clipping a little bit. I'm okay with that. So in looking at the outside, the treehouse elements, obviously it's supported by trees, and we tried to shrink it down, make it a little bit rustic, a little bit eclectic here and there. And then the Gothic Revival elements, I did stick with the Gothic Revival Victorian direction just because I'm more familiar with that. The pointy arched windows and my attempt at getting pointy arches around the decks, those are definitely just Gothic Revival in general, but then the Victorian element came in with the tower, the floor plan, all that stuff. So this is the build. As always, this lot will be on the gallery. You can check out all of that information in the video description down below. If you'd like to see the last time we built a treehouse, I will link that video up here, as well as the last time I did a Gothic Revival inspired Victorian build, which is when I rebuilt the Goth's home. Please note that that video was due to technical difficulties, so it's definitely not one of my best, but it was still a really good time. Thank you so much for building with me today, and I look forward to building with you again very, very soon. Bye!